Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once more as we continue on in our following turn here. There we go, to get the microphone set up, and indeed we should be good. Okay. Now, let's see what's actually occurred here. There's obviously going to be some differences from when we last took a look at the turn. So really it's going to come down to what has changed in terms of the defenses on the Smolensk front over here. Now we did... Ooh, okay. It seems we were actually pushed back over here. We did have a position on the other side of the river, didn't we? So it looks as though we definitely have been pushed back. That's not very good. Okay, I'm looking for battle sites here. There we go. Yep, we were definitely pushed back. Those are some pretty heavy losses as well. Yeah, that's not good. So we were attacked by the 51st Tank Division, the 200th, the 140th, the 228th, the 189th, the 80th, and the 139th Division. So over 100,000 men have pushed us back across the river. Now, we did inflict fairly good losses, I suppose. Thankfully, we didn't lose many vehicles. The Red Army has lost a lot of vehicles there. But ultimately, it's no good having lost that position there on the other side of the river. Hello there, Sam. How you doing, my friend? Okay, so we are going to have to change tactics here. And now this seems to be pretty intriguing. The 295th Division, the 299th. We also do have these other units, the 298th. These may be potentially new units that have just started to reach the front now. But that does give us a point at which we can potentially punch through here. Now, you're actually very low on supply, aren't you? You definitely need more supplies here. This delay in the actual supply network has really cost me massively. It's definitely set us back in a big way. And I'm definitely not kidding when I say that. Right, we'll move our forces over here. We'll begin to move the actual rail lines up. Right. Move you over here. Did they? I forgot to tell. Yeah. Okay. Definitely make sure I tell Agrippa about the Second Army. I completely forgot to remind him. But at least we have a reserve army. Yeah, check that it's been some morale levels. That's a good idea. They do look like fairly new troops, considering the fact of their supply being so low. Morale is pretty mediocre. Yeah, pretty mediocre. Experience is very low as well. I mean, there's some very highly experienced units over here. Sadly, those are the ones who attacked us. But we should be able to break through over here, and this may prove to be better. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be on this side of the river, so I can actually assault Smolensk without taking the penalty of the river. But we'll see how we can go. Now then, so we just moved our units over here. We'll be able to finish this pocket off. This one may take some time, but frankly, once this is done, we will be able to move forward. Okay, so let's begin to repair the rail line. I desperately need these supplies to the front line. Absolutely cannot do without them. This delay has cost me severely. Surely I can. Okay, there should be no reason why I can't repair this. Yeah, I really can't see why I wouldn't have been able to do this. Yeah, I know, tell me about it. Please. Did I send the wrong unit by accident? No? Right. Let's just bring you back over here then. Dear. Okay. So we have the benefit of these security forces, which I have taken from Army Group North for the moment. Four tiles up. Yeah, but I have 2 of them here. Really? Even with a second group? Wow, that's pretty annoying. That is pretty annoying. God damn. That is actually rather irritating. To be fair, what I'm going to do then is, I have found that you can only go 4 hexes. Bloody hell, that's a rather annoying little thing. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to reload the scenario. And yes, this is really messy. We'll reload the scenario and I'm going to have that one go back to the north over here then. Okay. Also, you lose a mobility bonus next turn if Soviet retreat casualties are reduced to normal. Yeah, that sounds about right. Except in the northern area where it costs only 1. Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll clear this rail line first and foremost. Whoops. I should then probably be able to repair, well, get the rail line repaired over here, more than likely. We just need to deal with these forces. I do have these divisions over here. Okay. The security forces here should be able to deal with that 1 division, I'd imagine. I'm going to really make sure of this one. They have been very tenacious, and these forces aren't exactly grade A. I mean, they're security forces at the end of the day, not full-blown divisions as such. Yeah, they prove to be, well, troublesome still. We'll leave you here as a garrison. So there, Snake, how you do, my friend? Also, what were the casualties like last turn? We'll take a quick look, shall we? Okay, since your last turn... Yeah. Okay. Well, Agrippa seems to be doing okay now. His forces need to be organized. But I need to tell him, I need to remind him about the Second Army. I'm... Oh well, oh well. Brest, Livosk, Brest-Litovsk still holds out, as you can imagine. Okay, well, now we have more construction crews actually working here, that's quite nice. Right. I may be able to attack them without taking the river crossing modifier here. Minor river to the northwest. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'd imagine the Soviets are pushing some big numbers here. 4.2 million. Yeah. What I may do is I may attempt a impossible campaign myself one day, just to see how we could do. I mean, ultimately we are going to be defeated, but it would be rather interesting of a challenge just to see what I could do. Which wouldn't be very good, but it would be interesting. Okay, I'm going to deal with this over here. Okay, at least it moves it next to the division, so at least I'll have an easy time of it. I don't like these divisions being so far forward. Right. Indeed. Okay, move that division there. And this one over here. That should help to actually keep them away. Right. So I'll have you moved over here then. We might be able to actually get some progress, potentially. No, I can't do that then. What I'll do then is I'll move you to about here then. Take you off the train. And then at least from the following turn we'll be able to construct this line again. I'll repair this line. Also, the one for full mobility division can probably... Yeah, that's true. Like this one over here. What happened to the Soviet voice emulator you were using? You mean Google Translator? It was too good, man. Okay. I just need to deal with this division. It's too much of a pain in my side. Just too much. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to make sure they're covered. In fact, I'll put a security division over the top of it, just in case. I'll attack it from the rear, and then at least we definitely know we have it. But I'm going to try and deal with these forces as I can, first and foremost. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here... No, that's actually rather ridiculous. I can't cross back there. We'll attempt a full-on attack. They're far too tenacious on Impossible. They're absolutely far. It's rather crazy. They've been starved for many turns and they're still holding on with absolute tenacity. It's impressive if it wasn't so annoying. Yeah, those losses are ridiculous. It doesn't help with the terrain, does it? Okay. At least that one's gone, so at least that's one more down. They're doomed. And it's just because at the end of the day, they're in a pretty good defensive position there, aren't they? A Google Translate speaks name like... That's nice. Okay. The 7th Division's looking pretty powerful, actually. That is quite impressive. Though it seems the 268th has taken some heavy casualties. Or at least, well, not heavy, but it's taken casualties, of course. This one's going to be difficult to deal with, considering the fact of the swamp here. Yeah, KV-1s, T-34s, additional KV-1s. They actually have some pretty legitimate tanks there. Okay. That's true. The morale bonus is pretty huge. Our penalty for morale is pretty huge as well. Right. To make sure we actually take this, I'm going to attack with a planned attack here. Even then, just absolutely bloody crackers. I mean, that was probably overkill for 2 divisions. But at the end of the day, I have to deal with them. It's gone on far too long now. Right, there we go. Yeah, they really are going to. I'm under no illusion about this. Zero illusions. I know just how bad it's going to be. It's going to be catastrophic. Yeah, I'm not going to attack Rest. It's just not worth it. Okay, well that was actually relatively painless. So that was very nice, actually. Most of them gone as well, so that's very nice. I was actually expecting that not to happen. But at least that's done, so at least I can move up these additional forces now. So I'm happy about that one, at least. It does mean that this rail line could be potentially worked on as well, so... That's not too bad. Actually, I'm going to take these guys, send them over here. Okay, not too bad, then. We can work with that. Begin to move this rail line. Yeah, we're definitely going to prepare fortified positions. Frankly, I have absolutely no other choice when it comes to that one. Absolutely no other choice. Yeah, I can imagine. It is pretty brutal. Okay, so what I'm going to do here then is, let's see, if I break up this formation, In fairness, I have them covered by the security forces, so I'm going to just go ahead and deal with this division here. I think I've just got to do it. It's a shame about the swamp. And I could probably handle it with a river crossing, but I'd rather not lose those additional troops, really. Okay. No point going hasty if it doesn't work, so we'll go full. Right. Now, I may allow this division to deal with this one. And does the modifier change the time it takes to build fortifications? Yes it does. Okay, we'll move these troops back down here. I can show you guys, so just hold on 2 moments. Not there. Is it here? Yeah, right. Fortification level is only 70% of normal values. The Soviets have 150%. We don't have a reduced blizzard, but I might actually consider that. I'll see what they think to it. Might actually be the only way we survive. Because at the end of the day, a full blizzard's probably going to kill us. Oh well. It'll be rather interesting. Okay, so let's deal with this force over here. No such luck. Definitely no such luck. Rather than waste our time, I'm going to move you up over here to the front. I do have these forces over here. I'm somewhat tempted just to deal with this. But then again, I would very much rather move up. No, we'll move up. We will move up. I think in all honesty, we've dallied too long and we now need to get these forces moving ASAP. Why are you so far behind the lines? It's not worth it to send another division here. I already have the forces necessary. I just need to use them. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to have you move over here. Take this second. So I'll have you assigned to the 13th Corps. Yeah, very low on supply. I suppose so. Right. So see, things are rather difficult over here now, as we have lost our foothold over the Dnieper River. Though, it definitely looks like we may be able to make our way through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the drawing tool, the handy dandy drawing tool. I have to say that. You know, I emailed them, and they never got back to me. I'm like, dude, really? I'd shut like crazy for this tool. Okay, so we did lose our position over here. I think it was roughly here, and it might have been about there. Yeah, I think it was about here. So that's... it's not too nice. You've actually called yourself Swordfish. My god, man, you have become the meme. Oh, you guys cheer me up, don't you? Okay. I promise you, no matter the odds, we will make it to Smolensk. I will make it to Smolensk. My reputation here is on the line. I've got a crap reputation, but I've got a reputation nonetheless, and I'm going to make it Smolensk. There's no other way. It will be Smolensk or bust. Okay, so we do have quite a bit of stroke of luck here. We do have the ability to probably force our way through here. These units are low on supply, but I may have my panzer forces drive on through here. It's not going to win us any strategic victories, but then again, the thing is, I've got to make sure I can get across and keep going. If it wasn't for this force here, I would be able to really just drive straight onto Smolensk and really damn the consequences. There are points of weakness here, and I do need to exploit that where I can now. So we are going to have to use our infantry here. they are going to have to pull out the bag. The men of the Ninth Army are going to have to do this. For the Reich. For the Fatherland. Rightio. Now this division here is unopposed, which is fantastic. I don't have a huge amount of movement here nonetheless. But we will make this work. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to take our reconnaissance and actually have them do some running here. Mein Kaiser, we will make it to Smolenskaven. I mean, we've lost already. There's no way that we can win here. Right. I'm going to keep them here. They should actually be fine from here. We'll run the reconnaissance then. Ah, it's like goddamn Tetris. Yeah, that's a strong defense on the other side of the river here. We may have a chance to break through this part. That may be doable. And probably is the best chance that we have at crossing the Dnieper over here. I think we need to try and cross in at least 2 positions here to make this work. Otherwise, the AI will just drive us back. Well, the Soviets, the Red Army, I should say. I mean, these units are just critically low on fuel. Critically low. These fellows have received a slight amount, but it's nowhere near enough. I may just have to drive them. I'm going to drive them back to the rear. I think at the end of the day, I can't afford. I can't afford not to. Yeah, we need that fuel. Otherwise, they are useless to us. Fording the Dnieper River will be nigh impossible. Watch out, they don't have you put into the Kestel since you are advancing so narrow in focus. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Indeed. I mean, this is the thing. It's like, I don't believe it would have been impossible for the Germans to have won. I think it's one of these things where... It's like the butterfly effect, isn't it? It's like one change could have eventually arrived in something else. But there, Hans, how you doing? How you doing? Okay. So we're gonna get hands-on now. It's like goddamn Tetris, unknown German soldier on the Eastern Front. I mean, I have an opportunity here to displace this airborne brigade. I don't know, man. It really does depend, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to have an easy time actually making it across the river, so we'll have to really think about this. The rivers do make this very difficult. I may actually just decide to actually push this way, but I can't afford... Well, actually, you know what? I might have these troops under the command of the Panzer Group just hold on, or even these forces under the command of the 4th Army just hold this front and move the Panzer troops over here. At least the divisions attached to the Panzers. Right. There's no great situation here. We may have an opportunity to potentially envelop these troops. I mean, this is the thing, I'm not really able to think in terms of envelopments. Mostly due to the actual huge strategic, well, huge logistical issues. It's really no good. That rail line having been disrupted has bloody buggered me. Okay. I know Cucumber has taken Tarnin, so congratulations to Cucumber. Cucumber, if you're hearing this, please take Piskov. I can't deal with this alone. I'll bloody well try, but I can't handle that alone. Okay. While I'm here, before I forget, I'm gonna move his FBD. We'll move it to Riga. Oh, I'm so jealous that he can move this so fast. Okay. At least he should just be able to have supplies in Riga in the turn after. Hello there, Lord Conrad. How you doing, my friend? Right. See, it's like the only envelopment I could do is actually just cut these forces off here, which is about as useful as you can imagine. We will break our way through here. It's just going to be how we manage it. Righto. I do have Panzer forces with relatively nice levels of fuel. Yeah, the issue is the zone of control here. I think even if I was to envelop these troops, it would be far too harsh. Yeah. They will definitely drive that. And the Eastern Front, it's going okay. I mean, I can make progress here. It's going to be difficult, but I can make progress. Right. I'm sorry, but the 4th Army is going to have to fight this alone here. They're going to have to do it alone. Though that is rather positive. I'm kinda miffed that I actually... Yeah, okay. Nah, that's gonna hurt. Oh well. Oh well. I'll push that headquarters back. At least that may persuade this division to move back. We'll see. So often mean runs. Okay. Now... I am going to use the 4th. The 4th has to be used here. So we force them to retreat. I'm half tempted to grab this position here, considering the fact that it is across one of the rivers here. There is a town, there is the rail, but the rail doesn't matter. We have to get across this river. We have to cross the Dnieper. I've not got much of a chance there, but it might be worthwhile just to take a throw of the dice. Right. I'm sure as hell going to pull back from this position here, so of no use to me. Right, I'm going to take a throw here. I doubt this is going to be a success, but it... Oh no, it'll drive them back. But that's nice. The only issue is I really can't make much of a gain there. Yeah, your fuel is just so limited, it's unreal. Okay. Now, I may have a chance to actually force this division back. The 215th isn't that powerful. I do have some Pioneers, some Stugs, and some Motorized Flak. But I think I'd rather give that to the actual Army Corps headquarters here. At least then they can make more use of it. Goddamn, I have a lot of construction battalions I need to assign. Okay, let's give them some additional artillery then. So we'll give them the mixed artillery. In fairness, I might try to bring them all to a... Wow, that's lacking artillery majorly. Oh, jeez. Yeah, these units are absolutely lacking here in terms of artillery. That's really scary. Hello there, Angel. How you doing, my friend? Looks like a boring game. Hello there, French Dog. How you doing, my friend? Okay, so we have a pretty dire lack of artillery here in these corps. That is pretty rough. I mean, the 2nd Panzer seems to have quite a abundance of artillery. We are going to have to find a way to rectify this issue. I mean, this is pretty much a problem-solving exercise. I do have the benefit that I can actually push the 289th Division back rather easily. They're not a threat, which is decent enough. That may help us out in actually taking back this zone of control. Now, do I attempt a hasty attack? I think at the end of the day, I've got to go with a full attack. If I don't go with a full attack, then this is when we actually fail here. Okay, so let's force this division back. Okay, that is a success. Now, what I'm going to do to ensure the stability of our flank here is I'm going to break this division up, break the 102nd up into multiple parts here. Okay. So, what I'm probably going to do here is have this division move here. I mean, the 5th division is actually really lacking in terms of supplies. It's getting quite bad here. We could just use them or have them potentially stay in place for the time being. But the supply situation is rather poor. I do have additional forces, which is quite nice. Yeah, these divisions are just lacking in terms of fuel and supply. Ammunition's good, because obviously the fighting hasn't been heavy. Not too heavy. But of course they are lacking in the actual basic necessities. Which is a big issue. I'm more on a Jud. You know what, I really like Civil War 2. I think Civil War 2 is my favourite Jud game. I just think it runs so goddamn well. I do have... What was the other one? Not the 30 Years War, the one after that was a Succession. That's the one I need to actually give a go. I just think Civil War 2 just runs so well. It just seems to function just better than any of the Juds I've ever played. Just never had an issue with it. It's really quite refreshing. Okay. So I'm going to move the 35th forward. Can the 5th move as well? The 5th could move as well, so we are going to move the 35th and the 5th. You know, I'm really happy I get my new pop filter tomorrow. So I'll be able to actually have the microphone with the actual proper pop filter as well, so the actual sound quality should be even better, because at the end of the day I'm actually going to be talking to the correct placement on the microphone. What is it? Alea Acta Est. I played that one. I like the Alea Acta Est. The only thing is with it is it's one of the older generation Jud games, so it's like, I find it very difficult because at the end of the day, well, not difficult, it obviously isn't a Jud game through and through. I just wish I'd be able to actually see the strength of these opposing forces. Another one would be Espana 1936. That could be one worth looking at. I've got that one too. Oh, thank you very much there, Lord Conrad. That's really kind of you. I mean, if you do become a patron, join the Discord and I can give you like a special red name as a patron backer. I will be having a reward as well for patrons coming out soon. Just need to, well, get the guy working on them to get his arse in gear. But yeah. The microphone's got... Yeah, it's really good. Really good. It's definitely better than what I was using beforehand. And, I don't know. I had Sun Yat? Is it Sun Yat or Sun Yen? One second, let me just quickly check here. I don't want to get the name wrong. One second. Yes, okay, so one of my patrons, Sun Yan, was very kind, extremely kind, and donated £50 to allow her to actually help me get a microphone. And you know what, it was really worthwhile. And thank God Black Friday fell when it did, because that made things a hell of a lot cheaper. I mean, the microphone itself is normally £155, went down to 125. The actual boon arm down from 80 to 63. The actual shock mount down from 40 to 30. So, yeah, I mean, it still turned out to be like $215, $220, something around that. But at the end of the day, that did make it significantly cheaper having Black Friday. And thanks to the contribution of Sun Yan and others of you, I mean, all of you, my Patreon backers, do definitely help out considerably. And of course, all of you who do donate on the live streams really does make a goddamn big difference. Because at the end of the day, I mean, this microphone isn't too far away from being paid for already. And at the end of the day, it's like, should the channel keep on going as it is? Because it's really nice, and I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you guys have ever noticed, it's like when I actually talk about the channel, I don't say my channel. I might say sometimes, But when I say, well, when I talk about it, I always talk about it in third person. So in the end of the day, the way I see the channel is it's not a solo effort, it's definitely a collaborative effort. And where would I be without you guys? I mean, I'm not kidding on this one. It's like, those of you who have talked to me on Steam, you know I absolutely do enjoy talking to all of you. I'm always open to that, it never bothers me. So, yeah, I definitely see the channel as something collaborative. It's been a big part of my life, really. Strange in that sense. Civil War 2 is my favourite. Wars of Secession I have bought but not really played. I might take a look at it. I might take a look at that one actually rather soon. Yeah, I don't know where that static noise came from. I think it just suddenly started dying, really. I mean, I'd had it quite a few years. Possibly 2, possibly 3, I'm not entirely sure. And it was a Blue Yeti, and the Blue Yeti microphones are pretty solid. I was thinking to myself, am I going to get a Blue Yeti Pro, or am I going to get something better? And I thought, yeah, let's go for better. And today, you guys actually deserve something that is as good as possible. So anyway, that's my monologue done. That's me sounding like a pretentious douche. I apologise. Yeah, you can talk about Swordfish. You know what? I've got the new expansion for Crusader Kings 2. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for the Crusader Kings 2 Plus mod to actually be updated, and then I'll actually take a look at doing that. Maybe some multiplayer. I did actually comment on one of Benjamin Magnus's videos and ask him if he'd be interested in any collaboration work. It could be rather interesting to maybe play some like Hearthstone 4 or 3, well 3, most likely 3. I'm not a massive fan of 4. It's okay at absolute best. We're like Hitler and Blondie. You can't have one without the other. Aye, that's true. Okay, so we've managed to open our way up over here. Now, taking Oshar would be very nice. At the end of the day, that is a pretty strategic town there. And it's the only town, one of the only towns between us and Smolensk. We are making progress here. The AI has done some rather interesting things right now. Yeah, the only issue with my CK2 is it's just decided to start crashing, so that's just brilliant. I have a love-hate relationship with Paradox games, as they always bloody crash on me. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attempt to go with a full attack. Where's your headquarters? Right here, okay. Bloody hell, man. Thank you so very much, Diligent. Bloody hell, that's really kind, mate. Are you actually on the Discord? Because at the end of the day, I could definitely... I'm going to make you like a patron backer if you're not already a patron backer. I might as well give you that status, because at the end of the day, you've donated so much over this time. I said one is a horrible, horrible beast that would do anything to get its way, and the other is That's incredible. Now, Diligent, you've done so much. Just make sure you're on the Discord, and then I'll give you patron backer status anyway. Thank you so very much, mate. Okay, now that's very nice. The 215th has been pushed back over here. It doesn't seem like a big victory, but this is actually quite important. So what I can do here is now actually move forward without these under control issues. At least to the degree that we would have been facing. So I think what we'll do here then is I'm going to push up to this position. I may still have the ability to force the 250th Motorized Division back further. And if I can do that, that is going to open up the Orsha pocket as I'm going to call it for the time being, considerably more. Now I can't push into this position here. I don't have that means. But what we'll do then is I'll put this. Then again, do I? I'll put the division here for the time being. Yeah, I'll put a link in the actual chat right now. I need to advertise the Discord a lot more. I'm just really bad at organising Discord and stuff like that. I just really don't know how it works. I'm so bad at this. Okay, right, there we go. I'll put that into the chat there. Awesome. And does anyone know what's happening because I'm lost? That's nice, mate. It's not too bad. I mean, to be honest, Get a Grigsby is one of the easiest, I'd say one of the simpler Get a Grigsby games. And to be honest, I'd say it's the most friendly game to new players, considering that you have this huge distance. At the end of the day, it's not like one of the Pacific where if you screw your economy, you're going to be screwed, but you're not going to know you're going to be screwed. You're going to be screwed in a year time and then everything implodes. Awesome, mate. Yep, can you show the order of battle? I want to see how much the AI cheats. Well, the AI is definitely going to be receiving a huge amount of reinforcements shortly, but they are at 4.2 million men at the moment. They have about 12,000 armored fighting vehicles, but at the end of the day, we've destroyed a lot of them, but the ones we've destroyed are mostly useless. They've not started receiving their huge reinforcements as of yet, but they will be doing shortly. So, this has actually worked out relatively well for us. This is actually a relatively weak part of the Soviet front line here. The Red Army isn't at full capacity in this location. Now, what should I do here? I do have the 26th and I have the 129th. Though, of course, I do have the 28th and I do have the 8th Division. I can't move them up over here to actually join the battle. But what I could potentially do then is have them reinforce this position. Though, frankly, if the planned attack doesn't work, it's not great. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the 26th Division. I'm going to have them cross over here. Yeah, there's no way to do this. Okay. Now, I do have the opportunity to go with 2 planned attacks from 2 divisions. At the end of the day, that is a heck of a lot more likely to actually succeed. Come on. You son of a bitch! Okay, that's not what I needed at all. That's actually the worst possible bloody result there. Motherfucker. Ah, you son of a bitch. Right, I don't have a planned attack. I am going to attack the 215th again. It's not going to succeed, but at the end of the day, I need to make sure I can take this position next turn. I mean, I could always attack the 299th Rifle Division, but I need to make sure I take Orsha. Yeah, they're going to hold. I'm going to attempt this one more time if I can. I can hit this guy, so I might as well go for it. Yeah, only scouted. That's no good. We're lacking artillery majorly here. Majorly lacking artillery. One in the Pacific AE, I still screwed the economy. I played the Allies and would probably mess that up too. It is like Overlord Gary, obfuscated. All the pertinent information, at least to me. Well, the tracker does make things significantly easier to work out. I would absolutely 100% recommend the tracker. It presents information in such a way as to make things actually legible. But yeah, I'd agree that a lot of the actual parts of the UI are very difficult to understand. It's like, even now there's still parts that I get quite confused about. Okay, so now let's go into this. I'm going to bring up the drawing tool here. So we've managed to actually push our way to about here. Obviously we don't have this directly under our control, but it is counted as our territory. So we have the option here of trying to drive on through here. The thing is, do I use my panzers to do this? It really does depend on their fuel. I may in fact just be better off waiting for the fuel to arrive, for these rail lines to actually close in, because at the end of the day, if I do this, I only have that one run. I'm not going to be able to really go as far after that. I could probably still move, but it's not going to be like a grand movement. We'll take a look at it, but frankly we have to be very realistic. I still have additional panzer elements over here, but it's very much the same story here. I need to have the fuel, I need to have a logistics capability to do this. I could use my air transport squadrons, but at the end of the day, they're only going to carry so much. And then, yeah, that's gone. So, we need to be quite realistic about this. We need to be very, very realistic about what we can actually achieve. I mean, if you guys do feel that it would be a worthwhile investment, I might consider using the Panzer forces, but as far as I'm concerned, at least at the moment, it really doesn't appear to be worth the actual commitment to the Panzers as of yet. We do have the infantry there at the front line. I can obviously move up additional infantry as well to help move the situation. I'm just not keen on the idea of my Panzers heading into these forests over here, losing all their fuel and just being practically useless. It just does not sit well with me. I'm going to move that division there, just make sure that we actually have a continuous front line here. We still have these infantry divisions over here. Those brigades you lined up look mighty weak, so the Soviets sitting across from them. Yeah, that's true. Like these ones over here. They don't have a huge defensive strength. If we take a look at that, yes, nothing massive. But at the end of the day, it does depend on if the Soviets actually do decide to attack. I still have these forces under the command of the Panzer Group. In reality, I don't think they're worth committing to this area here. Yeah, they rammed them down. Okay, what I'm going to do here is... You have the range to move up over here. I might shore up this position. I can actually reform this division, so I'm going to reform this division here. Or at least, yeah, move those elements there. And then what I'll do here is move these divisions. One here as well. Right. I could do with you actually changing over to another command. No point in moving panzer groups unless you can encircle a decent Soviet army group. That's very true. It's pretty much the way I'm thinking about this at the moment. The infantry are going to struggle immensely, but they will make it. Kessel in the making. Goddamn, I wish. If I was the Soviet, I would leave a gap where you can advance and have strong forces and flanks to box you in when you do. That's a good point there. Well, they're even more useless when they do nothing. I get the idea of saving fuel, but there's no point in saving fuel if you're not going to use it. See, the thing is, it's like... The infantry have obviously only really pushed aside a few units. In the following turn, I should probably be able to push through this. But at the end of the day, I'd rather move up when I have the logistics to support me. This is where our rail line covers up to, so notice the fact that it's almost there. It's not far away. We'll have an additional 4 hexes, so these guys will then be in supply. This rail line is now active, so in the following turn I'll be able to move this up to potentially here as well. So it's going to be more manageable. Yeah, that rail line interruption really did make a massive impact. It's like, for example, you take a look at these units over here. They only have such a small amount of fuel. If I take a look at the details here, fuel received there was only 7% of what they actually require. 7. Massive difference there. And these forces have to move back across the rails because at the end of the day, this is no good for them. I think what I'm going to have to do here is actually have some fuel transported via plane to the front line here. Considering I only have 1 ton of fuel there. That's literally nothing. Let's see what we have available then. The issue is, of course, there's going to be a wastage of fuel considering we don't have a rail... Well, sorry, a airfield there. How big is the MP of the troops on the front? Junkers 52 airlift, yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, so let's take a look at the 256 there, for example. They have 31 to MP. Oh, excuse me, 31 movement points until they reach rail. So they're 19 hexes away from rail, but this terrain is absolutely horrific. Like, for example, they only received... Yeah, they received very little last turn. Assuming this division was here already. We'll take a look at these guys. Yeah, they're not receiving a huge amount, are they? Really not. See, the thing is, it's like, for example, I could move them, but you look at that zone of control. That zone of control is not going to be enough to get through there. I'm confident that the infantry can punch their way through here in sufficient numbers. Now, the Red Army may move additional troops here, but at the end of the day, if they do, we will probably still be able to punch through. It depends where. It may not be here, it may be here, it may be here, but we'll find a way to punch through. The Red Army is the rock, and the Wehrmacht has to be the water. We have to flow through them where they're strong, well, flow around them where they're strong, and through them where they're weak. It's pretty much how we have to go there. Okay. I thought those mobile forces near Mogilev had 50 MP, but now I see they don't. Yeah, I mean, that's it. These guys have nothing. They have no fuel remaining. These guys have nothing in terms of fuel, only 3% there. I mean, these forces do have about 83% fuel, 88% fuel, but they're not going to get anywhere fast. Role players are Nazi official in a safe territory. Our general XDRG is doing wonderful and very decisive. We'll make it through. We will take Smolensk. I'm fully confident that we can take Smolensk. But really, how we go about afterwards is going to be rather interesting. I am going to have to petition Cucumber to potentially move towards Pskov. But we'll see. Do you have an airfield near the Panzer Division to receive all the supply that's going to be transported? Yeah, I was considering actually moving an airfield from the actual Panzer Command all the way over here, which would probably be the best bet. At least then we'll actually get the fuel going through there. Yay, Panzer Division of static pillbox. Yeah, true. Right. My airfield is over here as well. So I'm going to move you on top of this actual core. Then what that means is I can actually move that fuel there without losing any of it. Or at least not losing as much. So let's see then. Where are we actually flying from? So from over here then, okay. It's a shame I don't have any escort, so let's see. Can I move these airfields forward? Hmm. I'm not going to move the headquarters, so this airfield with the actual transports just in case. They might not actually be then able to move. Okay, so now I don't have the benefit of that. We're going to move then, obviously, fuel. So select all. We'll target the actual airbase here. Yeah, just look at that. They're obviously lacking on supply. They're lacking on fuel majorly. Right. So we do lose 2 of them. There is some fight and interception there. Okay, I'm going to risk this again. But let's see if I can move an airfield forward. Hmm. Okay, we do have the benefit of actual escorts now, so that's good. Not a huge amount of actual transports remain in here, but this is fine. So let's just make sure they actually have an escort. Now, what I may do is actually have some of our aircraft transport supplies. I could use bombers for that, but we'll see about that. Yeah, 61 tons is still worthwhile. We'll attempt this again, at least now we'll have an actual escort. Okay, launch. 42 tons of fuel make it through. If I can do this again, we will do. No, the transport aircraft are unable to do so. Right, I'm going to move them up now. Where will the rail line be next turn? So it'll be around about here. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I think it's because they were actually intercepted that they weren't able to manage it. And there we go. Yeah, beware the dreaded biplanes. Yeah, move the airfield. I mean, it may be due to the fact that it's in a swamp, perhaps. I mean, 100 tons of fuel will help. It definitely will help considerably. I mean, it's better than what we had beforehand, so at the end of the day, it's going to make a difference, whichever way you'd like to see it. It's not perfect. I would have obviously liked to have had 200 tons of fuel there, but that's fine. I think there's a limit on the air ops and the hex. Okay, that makes sense. Right. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move these actual infantry forces over here to the north. And the thing is, once we actually get the rail lines moving up and I can actually get the supplies into these divisions as well, they will definitely fight better. What I'm going to do here is actually reinforce this position here at Muglev. I think it would be foolhardy to move all our forces over here and to put all our chickens into one basket. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plan for, well, the possibility that, move you over here. Yeah, the possibility that the Soviets do reinforce this sector. Let's move you there, just make sure we have security. I mean, in fairness, I'm actually going to move another one here, just to absolutely make sure these HQ divisions are not threatened. I mean, it's not exactly very strong, is it? But at the end of the day, at least it's going to be something. I still have these additional divisions here, so we can still move additional forces to the front line. Right, we'll gather here. You're just a little bit far behind the front lines. Better is Zeno. Okay. Right, you've actually just been moved, haven't you? Yeah, see, I have these forces over here. I think what I may do then is while these panzers are actually stood here waiting, I might use the actual administration points that we have, but then again, I could do with actually helping out the other army groups in terms of command points. Though this is a question, isn't it? Do I do that? Do I do that? We have more reinforcements that have arrived. We don't have a huge amount of rail capacity. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to move these units via their own locomotion, basically. At the end of the day, they are in perfect supply over here, so they will obviously recover any damage and obviously have that fuel. I mean, fuel's not an issue. It's really not. It's just actually getting the fuel to the front line, that's the issue. Right. I'm just making sure that these are actually working. Okay. I think you get 2 Panzer and 1 motorized division. True. I'm going to have this actual FBD move along the north here. The Romanian FBD can take care of itself. I just need this one to actually move towards Kiev. Obviously to keep the panzer forces and infantry forces of Army Group South supplied. Okay, that's some decent progress. Yeah, I don't have much rail capacity, so I'm really making sure we save it. We do have that security division here. I'm going to put that in Lvov. It may be worth it just to see what these forces are actually capable of. Is it though? I mean, they still have plenty of supplies, so it's probably... No, it's not worthwhile. It's not worthwhile attacking. Really isn't. I mean, this is not a great situation, but I will be able to repair it in the turn following anyway. So, it's not too terribly bad. Right. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to attach the FBD... Well, so the labor groups. Okay, I don't actually have them. You know what? What am I doing here? I might as well have these guys actually attached to this command here. Yeah, South is interesting. I mean, obviously it does increase their combat capability massively. I just don't think it's worthwhile to actually attack there. Yeah, at least I was free to do it. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? I just don't think it's worthwhile considering the... I mean, the fortification isn't too high. At the end of the day, I mean, like, Brest is going to be a gigantic fortress that's going to extend from the city to the outskirts. Oh dear. What do you guys reckon? We try a preliminary attack here at Brest just to see how they're doing. So at the end of the day, it would take a lot of their resources, potentially. I just think at the end of the day, it's one of these, isn't it? We're gonna have to do something. They'll have supply to last them a long while, and it would be worthwhile to have an additional 2 divisions of the front line rather than all the way back here. Yeah, it is blocking a lot of rail line. We'll throw out a attack. I don't expect anything. Especially considering that they don't have a lot here. Ah, dear. I'll give them some artillery. It's not a huge amount of guns. It's really not. I mean, 36 guns isn't exactly massive, is it? Right. We'll give it a go. Just see how we fare. It's going to be pretty bad, but at least it should take them down a notch. So let's see how we go. Watching now, the city just suddenly falls. Yeah, no. Okay. Right, so the losses weren't too bad. Yeah, K-18s are pretty good guns, I'm not gonna lie. So the losses weren't too bad, really. So that's rather interesting. Engineer value. That's what we really need here. So that has lowered their combat potential. Has cost them some resources here. I could imagine. I mean, really what I'd have to do is actually give them, like, engineers. Like, well, pioneers. Pioneers and artillery, assault guns, that sort of thing. They don't have that. I'm really lacking in bloody guns here. Bloody hell. I mean, I'm really going to have to do some kind of distribution of guns. Yeah, pioneers would be bloody brilliant. I'd agree. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is, let's think about this. See, you're within range of the rail. No, I don't think a HQ build-up's worthwhile. 9th Army headquarters over here. Should probably move them up. Right. Why can't I assign you? Perhaps you need to move closer to these units. And then can you have them assigned? No? Okay, intriguing. Right. See, 3rd Panzer Group has these artillery sections. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to assign these construction battalions. I'll just assign them to the army groups and just make sure they're actually being used. Now, I do have the cavalry. Cavalry is rather intriguing. In fairness, I might even use the cavalry over here, to be fair. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. Or do I do that? Do I do that? Is that really a wise thing to do? I'd say no. I'm going to keep them waiting. I think at the end of the day... You know what? I think I'm just going to have these divisions set to refit. I mean, that's easier said than done. But I could have these divisions set to refit here. If you do a HQ build-up near Baku... I mean, how it works is a HQ build-up is it, like, lets you push beyond the normal 100% limit, really, on fuel. It does cost a absolute bomb in terms of administration points. Definitely. Definitely does. I don't think it's worthwhile here at the moment. I think these administration points are going to come in very handy in the future. I'm very much considering trying to establish additional defensive lines to begin with. I mean, we don't have long. I think we might have to consider building defensive lines now. Or at least attempting to do so. The issue is the rivers will freeze. That is the issue. Okay, just establish your position there. I might as well capture the town. Okay. No, I don't think it's worth the build-up. They've not moved for some time now. Right. I mean, once we're done with this over here, at least our rear area will be secure. I mean, this has now been done, so at least I can move these divisions up now. And those divisions to the north are under general command. Could use a core assignment. That's true. Okay. Let's just give it a colour. It is a sign, but it just doesn't look like it. So I'm going to give them a colour, just to make sure that they actually look the part. Fuck me, that's an awful colour. I really don't know anything about colours here. Okay, that's a really blue. Bloody hell, that stands out. That's actually almost offensive. Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time if he's only using that many troops. I think at the end of the day, we will be able to punch through to Smolensk. I was hoping that we would have our bridgehead across Smolensk, across the River Dnieper here. The issue is these rivers are really slowing us down. That logistics has really crippled me to a small degree. So we do have to wait for the additional reinforcements. We have to wait for the additional logistics to actually reach here. Yeah, that was a terrible colour. I mean, these units are good to go. They do have a good amount of fuel. Their units are obviously decent. They've been rested for some time, haven't they, of course? I don't know, guys. What do you reckon? Do we start digging these defensive positions in now? Could be worthwhile. And the thing is, it really comes to where I think we need to just focus, obviously, on taking some lands, and then we'll have to do that. I think, as far as it goes for defensive positions, probably something like this is not great. I need to obviously take my objective. We do still have some time to do so, but we are going to have to just base it around the rail lines. Minsk is really going to be our strong point. Mogilev is a pretty decent one. It's a shame that the rivers won't matter for long, but at least having that urban territory is going to be nice. But these towns over here will be worthwhile. These swamps will still be useful. Indeed. So yeah, I just don't think it's worth moving the panzers right now. So like, for example, I can move all the way over here, but I'd rather do that when we're in supply. I'd rather do that when it's actually going to matter. Not sure if Army Group North will reach Pskov. They should reach Pskov. They should reach it. More than likely. I mean, Estonia is unoccupied. Well, sorry, was ungarrisoned, basically. I think we'd probably just want to, like, base our defenses on the River Dnieper over here. Or Divina. The River Divina. Is this, Dolga? One of them, anyway. Like, base them along here. I mean, we do have some rough terrain, which would be quite nice to defend. You need to make a straight front so that you have as few hexes as possible to guard. That's very true. We'll have to figure this one out. I mean, there's some pretty good defensive terrain here. Now, if we take a look at it and really just evaluate, it's like this position here would be very nice to defend. I mean, Pskov is all... Pskov? I don't know, man. I'm not Slavic. Yeah, this isn't great to defend. There's not much there. But it does really narrow this down. I mean, this is going to be gone. As soon as winter comes, this is going to be gone. Estonia can't be held. It's too big. Not enough there to really make it worthwhile. The center is going to be a different... I mean, you can see where we're punching through here. At least we have a wide punch. At the end of the day, once I deal with this, we'll have a decent supply line. At least a rather more secured one. It looks bad, obviously, because of the marshes here. I think what we need to do then is really just punch through. If we punch through and break through to Smolensk, what I'd like to do is obviously use the infantry here to punch through. And I will turn my panzers south if we have time. The reason for that is to try and save Army Group South. There's a lot of units here. It does really depend on where the Soviet attention is going to be, and I feel like it's going to be on me in the center, since we are the furthest forward here. But indeed. And I think that is all I can do this turn, unless I actually move the panzers, which I do not want to do. I'm going to leave the administration points over here, and we'll talk about it. I'm going to message Agrippa and let him know that he has the second army to move, and that it's under his command. So, indeed. Until next time, thank you so very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you have enjoyed this. So until next time, goodbye. Hope to see you again in the future. Have a great day, evening, night, nightmare, birthday, holiday, Hanukkah. I can't remember any other Jewish holidays, so I'm gonna go wait. I think Hanukkah is Jewish. Yeah, anyway. Until next time, see you later, guys. Have a good one.